pity will is it not our people to bring so much shame upon
Destiny awaits.
So within the first few rehearsals, my dad caught wind of the story and what I was doing and instantly wanted to be involved. So he also contacted Stu and asked if he could audition for the part as Johnny Lewis. He obviously got it because my dad is awesome. And he soon joined in rehearsals with us. So for once, I had a bigger part than my dad, and he was like, yes, we've got this. But then within a couple of weeks, he ended up swapping parts with another member of the cast. And then he began playing the role of James Abbott. And, you know, sharing the stage with him again after probably about 7 years was such a good experience. You know, we hadn't been living together for a while. Lockdown had kept us apart. And then to be able to see each other socially distanced, to start working together, learning lines together, and then to just share the stage again for the first time since lockdown and just for years. It was a good experience.
It was a great experience for me because I performed with my daughter for only the second time on stage. I mean, it was so nice to actually go to rehearsals and just rehearse one-to-one with my daughter while we would just get to grips with such a fantastic, wonderful play.
Hi, I'm Jack Danks, and I was the production photographer for the Iniquity Camwedd project. For the project itself, I just found inspiring. It was a case of Stuart sent me the script months before I even started working on the project, and I was reading through the script and I was really trying to picture what this historical event was going to kind of transform into as a stage performance. And I couldn't picture it, if I'm honest, at the very beginning. The story was fantastic and the way it was written down was amazing, but I still couldn't picture that end result. And attending the dress rehearsals, I remember there was times where I'm glad I went 2 or 3 times, because you were watching something, and when you're watching something through the lens of a camera, you're missing it. So I was finding myself putting the camera down and actually watching the actors perform, and I was missing moments. So I definitely had to attend 1 or 2 times. Amy, her performance, just from the first moment she was on stage, she just captivated everyone's attention. And the same with Sam. Watching Sam interact with Amy on stage gave me a few ideas of how to portray his character through my own lens. So we actually did, I suggested to Stuart doing a shoot on location. So we went to the local graveyard where Dick Penderyn is buried there. And we'd done some shots by his grave, and I kind of wanted to use the steelworks in the background because that's kind of how I kind of envisioned that shot.
To witness how this project was starting to almost take a life of its own and inspire other artists in their creativity, like Jack, our production photographer, and the people who attended the workshops in sourcing and making the props, costumes and set for this world of Iniquity Camwedd, was magical. It was inspirational. It inspired me actually to reach out to some musician friends to see if we could get some bespoke music composed for the production. Music is such an emotive form of art, and I had this sort of vision in my director's mind's eye of the cast and crew all being in period dress and helping to rearrange the scene changes. So there was 4 acts, 2 scenes per act, and in the scene changes they would almost be choreographed to this bespoke music and morph the world of Iniquity Camwedd from Cavar of the Castle to, say, the streets of Merthyr, to the barnyard where the union meetings would commence, to Richard and Elizabeth's cottage. And watching people come together through the power of art to celebrate this pivotal moment in the history of Wales was something that I could never ever imagine how special it would mean, not just to me but to everybody involved. Needless to say, the musicians who came on board, who I'd met through, again, all walks of life, whether it be through art, community or work, came on board and became as passionate and as inspirational in their own artistry in helping us form this world of Iniquity Camwedd.
My name is Chris Jones. I'm head of music at Birchgrove Comprehensive School, just outside Swansea.
I'm Gethin Wilcock, sound designer and musician, and old friend of Stuart's. I think we've known each other for probably over 30 years now. We met when we were about sort of 14 or 15 when we were playing rugby together, and then obviously stayed in touch.
I'm Andrea Jones, and I'm a composer. So Stuart Broad and I go back almost 30 years. We've worked a lot together on plays and musicals. We went to drama college and we did Hamlet. We took Dylan Thomas's Under Milkwood to Scarborough Theatre Festival. So we weren't strangers in working together. I think he's a great actor, he's a great producer, he's a great director. He's kind of an all-round passionate Welsh guy, and I love that. And he messaged me on Facebook and he said, Andrea, I've written a play. It's about Dick Penderyn and the Merthyr Uprising. It's called Iniquity Camwedd, and I'd love you to compose me some music for this play. Now, I was not familiar with Dick Penderyn. I'd heard the name, maybe at school, because obviously I'm from Wales, but I wasn't familiar with the whole backstory. So I did some research and he sent me the script over and I read it through, and I was immediately like in love with the whole kind of social justice against the establishment. You know, I love all that kind of stuff. That resonates throughout time, I think.
Well, looking at the script was so important for me, and towards the end of the music I incorporated some of the words from the script and made them into a small collage at the end of it, which I spoke myself, and the audience could have picked out one or two of the words from there, but it gave it that sort of link into the drama. So I found that the language prior to that was really, really evocative and was adding to the tension. So I brought some of the words from the script into the picture towards the end of it.
The track needed to go, and it needed to tell the story of the build-up of the protest. So I decided to use some whispering in the Welsh language. So I had beth sy'n digwydd, which is what's happening, pwy sy'n dod, who's coming, and ble, and where is it all happening. So the idea was the track would unfold over the course of the 3 minutes, and the whispers would get gradually more and more and more until it built up into a sort of a cacophony of whispers sort of thing. At the time I was listening to a lot of the New York punk band, post-punk band Swans, and also the producer Nicholas Jarre, and Swans do a lot where they build tracks up over a long period of time and add different sounds in as you're going along. And Nicholas Jarre's very kind of he's got an exceptional way of weaving in sound design into his music, which I'm a really big fan of. So I decided to try and sort of take some inspiration from both those artists.
The whole production is just fantastic, and to be part of this is just an honour. This was a time of poverty, it was a time of struggle, and I wanted to reflect that in my music in every kind of way that I could. Overall, I'm thrilled to be part of this. Iniquity Camwedd is a brilliant play. I would love to see it as a musical. I'd love to see it as a movie. I think it has great potential to go all the way.
The story of Dick Penderyn will be the first to take to the stage post-lockdown in Wales. The play at Neath Port Talbot's Princess Royal Theatre will be the first time audiences will watch actors tread the boards since COVID restrictions came into place.
Of 1831, 10,000 workers marched as one. An insurrection had begun to end the debt of slavery. Iron workers and miners came, and labourers to break the chains, united in the